Hey everybody, I am going to show you how to make butternut squash ravioli with wonton wrappers. Get ready.
Okay, I'm going to show you how to do 3 butternut squash ravioli. This is probably about 3/4 of a cup of butternut squash, the squash that I roasted. You're going to put some in the center. You want to smash it. You can smash it with your fingers. You can smash it with a fork. And when you first start doing this, you're probably not going to want to put a lot of mixture in until you get a rhythm going, until you get the hang of it. But it's really not hard to do. And see these wonton wrappers, some of them have little creases in them, but that's okay also. So we're going to put that much. And then I'm going to just put a little bit more on the top because I'll show you how it all comes together. And then remember, if you don't like butternut squash, you can do this with mushrooms. You can do this with ground beef. You can do this. I mean, it's endless. These wonton wrappers are perfect if you don't want to make your own pasta. Okay, so we put that in there. Another variation is you can add some goat cheese to this, some chev, soft goat cheese, and that would make it really good too. Okay, so here you go. You put that in the middle, and then you take your finger and you put it in the water, and you run your finger along the side, or the perimeter, actually. You run your finger along the perimeter of the ravioli and turn it that way so it's the same way. And you're going to put this one on top. You're going to line it up, pull it a little bit, and again, I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly on top of it, because remember, it's perfect imperfection. And then you're going to do that, and then what you're going to do is you're going to smush this out a little bit, and then go around with your finger. And then I like to go one more time with the water around it. That's it. And then also, next thing I like to do, because you can freeze these, is I like to take a little flour and I like to dust it in a little bit of flour, and then it goes in the pan, and eventually this pan will go into the freezer. And then when you want to cook these, all you do is take as many out as you need and you cook them. So we'll do one more. Butternut squash in the middle, water around the perimeter, line it up, move the squash around so it is distributed a little better. Oh, I could have put a little more squash in here. See what it's getting. There we go. That's fine. Boom, boom, boom. Water again to seal it. There you go. Little flour. And what the flour does is it keeps the ravioli from sticking together. And it'll come off when you cook them because, of course, you put them in water. Okay, one more. This is going to be a good one. I am not the most patient person in the world. So this is not something that I can tell you that I love making. But when I eat them, I'm glad I made them because they're really good. And I'm telling you, you can do this. You can serve this to your friends just as a snack, an appetizer, and they're going to be really impressed. There you go. One more time. There you go. Okay, so I would say by looking at this amount in the bowl, if you're going to use 3/4 of a cup of the butternut squash, it's probably going to make 6 to 8 ravioli. And then you take it from there. And you can make, of course, as many as you want, but this is the beauty of it. Like I said, you can freeze these. So if you just want to watch TV and do this, you can put these together and you can make 20 of them, put them in the freezer, and you can have them to cook anytime you need them. All right, we are ready to cook the butternut squash ravioli. The water is starting to boil rapidly, which is a good thing. Here are the 3 ravioli that were in the freezer, and see how they're great. They're hard, they're frozen, and it's really easy to pick them up. They won't stick together because we dusted them with flour, so we're ready to roll. Now this is on a medium heat, and I have some unsalted butter. If you don't have unsalted butter and you just have salted butter, don't worry about it, you can use that. Put it in the skillet. Just watch your salt afterwards. We're going to let this melt in the skillet, and then we're going to take the ravioli and we're going to drop them in. I can probably do 3 in here. Yeah, I can do 3. Okay, this is fresh sage. So what I did is I took 5 leaves and I stacked them on top of each other, and then I rolled them, and then you slice across them. And that's what that looks like. That's 5 of them. Okay, we want to get the butter right past the melting stage. It's going to start turning brown, and it gives it a nutty flavor. It takes it one extra step. So here we go with that. These are moving along well. And remember, the butternut squash is cooked. So we're just heating this. Okay, oh yeah, it's starting to smell. That nutty smell. And we're going to take the sage, and you're going to put the sage in. And just do that. Turn it off. And then these are going to be ready to take out. I'm turning the fire off on here. You can use tongs. You can use a slotted spoon. You do 1, 2, come on, man, really? There we go. 3. And then if you don't want to use all of this butter, which you probably don't, this is infused now. You just take a spoon, and you want to get that sage on there. It's so good. And then do that. A little more sage. I want all the sage. And then I'm going to take a little bit of salt, because remember, this butter that I'm using is unsalted. And I'm just going to go just a little bit with the salt. And that is butternut squash ravioli with brown sage butter. I am ready to eat. Look at this. It is so good. And I mean, don't you think it's so easy to make? Wonton Wrappers. Who would have thought? Okay, see the sage is a little crispy? And then you take that, you take a little bit of the ravioli. Yeah. Oh God, I can't speak. This is great. And remember, you don't have to use butternut squash. You can use mushrooms, you can use ground beef, you can use seafood, you can use crab meat. And then you can put your favorite cheese in it. And you also don't have to use sage. You can use rosemary, you can use basil, anything. I mean, just let your mind go free with imagination. This is the base, and then you make it your recipe. I'm Maria Villegas. I'll see you soon. God, really?